Greetings, friends and strategy fans. Apparently, there are 4 new RTSs coming out in the next few months, later in 2023 or early 2024. They're all on Steam. Some of them have demos, which you can check out right now. So let's jump into all the games. I'm going to tell you my hype rating for each one. So the first game on this list is Tempest Rising. This is basically a clone, a modern clone, I'd say, of Command & Conquer, in that they've got 3 factions. They're even heavily based on, like, GDF is basically GDI, and it's the Tempest Dynasty, which looks a lot like Nod. Everything really bases on the original, like, Tiberium War Command & Conquer game. There's a demo you can even, yeah, look at this. I mean, the models, everything is heavily based on Command & Conquer. You got those little cutscenes before the missions. The graphics look great. You can download this demo right now on Steam. I advise that you check it out. It's made by 2B Games, 3D Realms, and Slipgate. I've not heard of some of these before, but it seems like it's a bit of a collaboration together. Their Steam page could use a little bit more work, and they have just launched a new website, so you can check this out if you want to. It's really amazing how much influence they've taken from Command & Conquer, but hey, why not? I mean, the original was such a classic. The features, they've said, it's classic RTS with base building, fast and fluid hard-hitting combat. There's 3 playable factions, each featuring distinct economies. Each faction offers a unique roster of units. There's 2 epic single-player campaigns, and obviously the between mission cutscenes. You can see some of the brilliant footage in the 3D that they've created for this game. And there's also going to be skirmish, custom games, and ranked multiplayer with ELO rating. If this game gets the polish it needs, because I feel like the demo's maybe 3 months, 6 months away, if it gets the polish it needs, this could be a very exciting game for people that have been waiting for a Command & Conquer remake for as long as I can remember. So yeah, this is game number 1, and my hype rating for this is pretty high. We'll come back to a full hype rating list at the end. Game number 2 here is Stormgate, and Stormgate is a really interesting game. This graphic style is somewhere between Warcraft 3, I guess, and StarCraft. There's a lot of like mecha inspiration, I think, from the Terrans here, and I'll play some of the footage in a second. You can see some of the buildings and stuff here, but this is a really interesting game in that it seems like a lot of the development team are previous industry veterans in the RTS space. Now, this is a new team that I hadn't heard of either, called Frost Giant Studio, but if you go over and check out their website, that's when things start to become interesting. So you can see here that they have like the production director from StarCraft 2 and Generals 2, they have the lead campaign director from Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, they have a former lead engineer in StarCraft 2, former lead artist on StarCraft 2, and a principal artist on Diablo. So these guys have grabbed people from... It probably is because Blizzard haven't put anything real-time strategy out for a while, and I guess EA are not really doing much with the Command & Conquer space, so this seems like the... I don't know what you would call this. In the football, I guess this would be your Galactico. This would be when all the rejects... I wouldn't even call them rejects. All the best players go to one club to bring something out. So Frost Giant Studios, their website is maybe a little bit lacking, but their Steam page looks good, and I've seen, well, look, Frank Kaplak is doing the soundtrack for this game. If you don't know who, I probably pronounced that wrong, Frank Kaplaki. He was the soundtrack maker for all the original Command & well, it's gonna roll the footage, isn't it? It's gonna be Dune, all the Command & Conquer games. He's a legendary composer, so they've taken the best of the best across multiple industries here, and I mean, I guess they've got to take that. These races are kind of unique, so it's a new space, like somewhere between fantasy and there's got a bit of the StarCraft element in there. There's a lot to be said for their Steam pages is pretty nicely laid out. They've got lots of little bits here, and you can sign up for the beta now. You can obviously wishlist on Steam as well. What they say is Stormgate is a next-gen real-time strategy game set in a new science fiction fantasy universe. Command mechs to defend Earth or invade it as the Infernals. So I think it sounds like 2 races. Explore an ever-changing campaign. Group up to 3 players co-op versus AI, competing 1v1 or 3v3. They also are going to include the map editor, and they said welcome to the future of RTS. This game looks like there's some real potential here. Frost Giant Studios, and yeah, I mean, the game certainly looks... Maybe this is like the spiritual successor for StarCraft and Warcraft, because we aren't getting any more of them anytime soon, as far as we all know. So, Stormgate, check it out right now. This is pre-alpha gameplay. Looks very, very interesting. And as I said, I'll tell you my hype at the end of the video. So, Game 3 is called Global Conflagration. And here we have some screenshots again. It looks very much influenced, I would say, by Command & Conquer / maybe even Red Alert here. And this one looks a little bit more gritty, or a little bit more hardcore, I would say. Maybe a bit more realistic compared to the other two. Their Steam page is mentioning early access, and I actually tried to find out a little bit about the developer and the publisher, and it was actually impossible. Like, I couldn't find any information on the developer and or the publisher, which isn't great. But I guess what they say is set in an alternative universe, or an alternate future, sorry. Global Conflagration is an RTS game that will take the player on a massive European conquest. Build your base, train units, deploy measures, and call in airstrikes to destroy your opponent. So the campaign will explore unexpected military incursion in Europe, as well as offline skirmish game and multiplayer. Sorry, I get all my words mixed up just now. Traditional base building will exist. There's going to be infantry squads. There's going to be a balanced and unique set of land units for each faction. Didn't actually say how many factions, but I would imagine it's at least 2 if they said each factions. You've obviously got aircraft, helicopters, and you've got deployable measures to support your units. I don't know if that means like airstrikes, or maybe, you know, like the blip you just saw here flying in. So Global Conflagration is an early access title. Not too much more to be said, and their Steam page could use some love. If you are watching this video and you work on Global Conflagration, have a look at Stormgate's page and look how much information they managed to cram in here. It does say online PvP, and sometimes it can be hard, I suppose, for like smaller developers to know what to do. Oh, I don't want to put sound over the top of my voice. But yes, I mean, the graphics look good, the gameplay looks like it's coming along. It also mentions this is an alpha build, so expect improvements in the future. And no ETA yet, just an early access title, likely to come out before not too long. And you've got some sort of HUD elements down here. Yeah, this one maybe seems a little bit more grand strategy. Hard to say. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll report back when we know more. And then game number 4 is Sanctuary Shattered Sun. So this is another interesting one, and I honestly can't believe that we're getting 4 RTSs in such a short period of time. All these games have great graphics. This one looks just as good as any of the others. I mean, that's not a great screenshot, whoever decided in marketing to take that screenshot. It's literally a desert. But the buildings and stuff look pretty interesting, and this is by Enheartened Media, which is an Australian developer. And do you know what? I didn't find out too much about Enheartened Media, but I think the thing to say is that, you know, other games coming out of Australia, Path of Exile is an insane game that came out of Australia. So this one was made by devs that previously worked on Supreme Commander and Total Annihilation. You can see here the view or the scale of the game. So this is completely different from the other games. You can zoom out something insane. The screenshots make it look like it's fairly... There's a fair amount of work to do on it, but from what we're seeing is there's definitely a lot of potential here. It's going to be a traditional real-time strategy game, but it's going to feature the strategic zoom. So basically what that means is that it's just on a grand scale. They've got like simulated projectiles. You get to take control of hundreds of units to crush your enemies. And there's a Kickstarter for this one coming out very, very soon, but you can obviously wishlist it over here on its Steam page. This Steam page is done reasonably. This is much better, actually. And then I'll click the link just to bring up the Kickstarter so you can see what this looks like. And you should probably notify, if you use Kickstarter, notify yourself when the launch here. It will be a early access game, I believe. Did they say that? No, they haven't said it's going to be early access. I guess they're going through Kickstarter instead. But so that's 4 different RTSs. And like I said, it's made by the creator of Total Annihilation and Supreme Commander, and they're actually doing pretty well in posting like news updates. It looks like they've got a Discord you can join in on, and yeah, Sanctuary Shattered Sun. So 4 brand new RTSs all coming out all on Steam. I would be surprised if you said 2 RTSs were coming out. It's a genre that made PC gaming almost what it was, and then it really fell away. And it looks like all these games have the potential to be really, really exciting and big projects. So thanks for getting to the end of the video. Hope this has got you excited about some future RTS games. And if you want to know more or see some of the current RTS or just hang out, then this is the channel for you. Please leave a like on this video or consider subscribing. So I think that Tempest Rising really looks like a 9 out of 10. If you're a big Command & Conquer fan, I think you're going to love that. Stormgate, if you're Warcraft 3 or Starcraft 2, that's also about a 9 out of 10 for me. That looks like it's going to be a really positive game. I'd love to get some of these games on the channel more, so if you're a developer of one of these games, feel free to reach out. Sanctuary Shattered Sun, I think I love the idea of being able to control thousands of units. It's been a long time since we've done that. Total Annihilation and Supreme Commander were both great games I grew up in my childhood, so I'm going to give that like a 7.5 out of 10. And Global Configuration, because I can't find out too much about the developer, it's probably the lowest of the 4 for me, maybe a 7 out of 10. But, I mean, the graphics look nice, and it looks like it could certainly be a positive experience for everybody that gives it a try as well. What I would endeavour would be to get more information on your Steam page and make it that there's a demo available. I think it was brilliant that Tempest Rising done that demo. If you haven't done the Tempest Rising demo, then grab it now on Steam. And if you want to see me spending about an hour with the demo, I will link that up above. You can check it out right now. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And this has been the Brotherhood of Strategy. Peace through power.